Welcome back, MVP. Your good buddy Streebo here with you for our first official post-Halloween Streeborama vlog. So here's to you. You may now officially take a swig of whatever it is that you're drinking at your house or in your dorm room, your apartment, whatever. I don't care. Wherever you live. Hole in the wall, hole in the ground. I suppose there are a lot of things to talk about. I came up with several talking points. I scribbled them down on a note card because note cards are our BFF for creative individuals. It's been a crazy month. I mean, we did a ton of promotion for Tales from Mutantville, Ghost, Mutisha's Movie Morgue, Scarecrow at Midnight. We had individual screenings for that, in addition to all the creative stuff that we did on top of it. Like Brent even took time at the beginning of October, well, the end of September really, to shoot a side project, and then had to come back and finish up some final authoring details on some of the DVDs. So, but we were able to get it all done, and not literally out to the masses, but close to being out to the masses. Like, if you saw us at one of our promotions, whether it was, I guess the Fright Night Film Festival was the first one where we had essentially both DVDs, because we premiered the Ghost DVD at Con Carolinas back in June, and then Fright Night in late June. It would normally be late July, but they changed the date this year. So we've had our DVDs since then, or at least the first versions of them, the festival editions, and we just put some finishing touches on them, cleaned them up a little bit, and turned them into the special edition DVDs that you can get now. But they are essentially the same thing. But it's cool to finally have that done, though it's not online where people can buy it yet. That's a bit of a bummer, but it's just a red tape thing. There's a lot of final details that you have to get worked out when you put a work out to the public for sale. I mean, because we're not just trying to sell them on eBay or whatever, but, you know, put them out there on Amazon, put it online where people can get it right from mutantville.com. So, a lot of work. Anyway, this is a vlog. These things go all over the place, so you can either keep up or you can take off, eh? But I figured I haven't given you guys one in a while, so. But it was an awesome October. Get all that stuff out of the way. It was an awesome October. It was really fun to finally premiere everything and put it out where people can start watching it and, you know, and giving you feedback. Because we'd kind of been promoting our way into Tales from Mutantville for a couple years by using, I guess, primarily Scarecrow at Midnight at film festivals, because none of the other films were ever submitted to film festivals. So it's just how it turns out sometimes. But it all led up to at least, you know, putting a piece of the work out there so people could get a taste for it, get a feel for it, and then decide whether or not Tales from Mutantville as an anthology with Mutisha the Movie Goddess, no less, was worth investing in. And I certainly thought it was. And then Tales from Mutantville, by debuting Mutisha, kind of set you up for, not kind of, but it introduced you to the character for Mutisha's Movie Morgue. So then you can go and watch actual Movie Morgue online. So it's cool to see it all kind of unfold all at once. It was definitely not our plan to release everything in October, mind you. Not from the beginning, you know. I mean, we really, ideally, we wanted to release Ghost before Tales from Mutantville, and then Tales from Mutantville, you know, 6 months later, ideally, and then probably the same thing with Mutisha's Movie Morgue a little bit after that. But it's cool to get them all out at the same time and have kind of a promotional web get started, because Ghost is going to be one of those things that people are going to be attracted to outside of Mutantville, where I think a specific anthology like Tales from Mutantville, might not be as attractive to people that aren't familiar with our work. So it's going to be interesting to see how the two kind of proceed in terms of sales and whatnot. But I don't know, crazy month, a lot of fun. I did several guest appearances on podcasts, like started out the month on Bloodbaths and Boomsticks, which was a lot of fun, talking to JSB and Tim Gross on there. My movie was The Eliminators, so I got to talk about that, which is very cool. Favorite of mine. I mentioned it on the the episode of MVP Mutant Radio where we discussed our top 5 sci-fi films. I talked about that one. Though it was not in my list, but I said it was one of the movies that I wish could have made it onto my list. The Eliminators, which is, I don't know what canon film, but an Empire film. Anyway, I don't want to give you the breakdown on it again. Go check out those episodes. Then I stopped by Exploited Cinema. And then we did 7 complete episodes throughout the month. So that was a lot of fun. We released 3 over the first kind of week and a half, and then I think I took a week off, maybe even closer to 10 days before I got the next episode up. But then we did them in quick succession over the last week and a half of October. So that was cool. It was cool to get to promote like that and bring on a lot of cool people like Kenny Caperton from the Myers House NC, Jay from the Back Alley Film Series, which incidentally they're playing Tai Chi Zero tomorrow night, which I desperately want to go see, but I don't know if the funds are going to hold up for that. Or actually not tomorrow night, but tonight by the time you see this, because this goes up for Streeborama on Thursday. But yeah, the old bank funds are low. A lot of cool stuff going on this weekend, actually. In Durham at the Carolina Theater, they're having Retro Phantasma tonight, or last night, when by the time you watch this. Cinema Overdrive, they're actually playing Stunt Rock, which is insane. I never imagined that would play anywhere in the United States, but you know, post 1990 rather. But yeah, so a lot of cool things. I guess I have to be grateful that North Carolina has so much cool, fun stuff going on. I really try to take advantage of that. And like always, I try to encourage people to do the same. You know, if there are conventions in your area, go support them. If there are film festivals in your area, go support them. If there are retro screenings, go check them out. Go support them. What else did we do in October? A lot of crazy stuff. I mean, we had the Scarecrow at Midnight screening, which was a lot of fun. Anytime you get to screen your movie for a live audience, it's great. And it's even better to get to screen it in a theater. That's what it's all about. You make the movie for the theater. So it was really fun seeing it projected up on the big screen and feeling like, wow, you know, this is the way you should be watching this movie. Even though, you know, that movie was shot on digital like all of our stuff, but it looks great, you know, and that's primarily due to Robert W. Fillion's expertise on cinematography. Free plug for you there, buddy. Which, by the way, those guys, Robert and Brento, are shooting Mosaic 33 this weekend. So, see, that's the crazy thing is it's easier to just be quiet about everything, just kind of sit back and not have to put out these updates. But you, as an independent filmmaker and someone trying to create a brand, you have to take advantage of modern social media and our access to it all. And you have to kind of take control of it and put your brand out there. So that means coming up with content, which means vlogs like this, where I try to give you a little bit more of a glimpse into the mind of the man they call Streeborama. Now, when I say things like that, this is when people think about what an egomaniac I am. But I'll tell you what. When I was at the School of the Arts, how's that for name drop and plug? But, you know, I have an art school background. But I was, you know, miserable. I guess I was emo, goth, whatever, before it was cool. You know, just an artistic guy trying to survive in that environment, and really focused also on my artwork at the time, because that really sharpened my focus. Though I wanted to go to film school at the time, but they did not offer film school at that time. So I went through visual arts program. But that whole thing was summed up for me. The differences in ego in the cafeteria, because the visual arts people would go in and their heads hung low and they've been up all night, studying or working on some contraption or sculpture or whatever, trying to get it all put together, and they've dragged themselves into the cafeteria to get food, and they just get their food and they want to sit in the corner and eat like a little rat, just get your sustenance and then run out. And then the door will burst open every so often, and in will come one of the theater people, and they'll just come leaping through the damn doorway, dancing and pirouetting and shouting and giving little speeches and stuff, and they are always just putting on a show. And I think that's the difference is in ego. It takes a certain kind of ego to be able to do that, and it takes a very balanced individual to be an actor with that kind of ego and maintain control and sanity and not go crazy and everything, because in a way you have to want to be the center of attention. So with filmmakers, we usually don't put ourselves in the film so much. I mean, I guess that's kind of where I draw the line. There are guys like John Carpenter that insist on having his name in front of a movie, but you can understand it. John Carpenter's Halloween. Now that we've had Rob Zombie's Halloween, I mean, it's a good thing that he branded it with his name in front of it. But at the same time, we have people at our level, at the independent level or what have you, that are making sure to put their name in front of every movie they make, when at this point you don't really have a brand. I mean, technically you might, if it's like Mutantville Productions, which is a very concrete brand because it's a combination of all the things that we as individuals bring to it. But when you don't have that real brand and it's just your name you're putting on there and in front of a title, like it's a brand that should be attracting people, you have to ask yourself why. It's like, really, seriously, sell the story on the strength of the story, sell the title on the strength of the title. If it's a good title, people will buy it. I'll stand by all of my titles: C for Chaos, Devil Comes Down, Ghost, Scarecrow at Midnight, Tales from Mutantville. Do I have to give credit for the Tales from Mutantville title to somebody else? But anyway, though, I supported it and ran with it. But what else? Oh, Mutitious Movie Morgue, that's mine. So yeah, I mean, your title, man. Always see Streebo Magic's Devil Comes Down. I mean, it just sounds asshatty, Don't be an asshat. Very, very important thing. So a lot of crazy stuff going down, a lot of crazy stuff coming up. We just left the Fright Night Film Festival. Had a blast at that with Bruce Campbell, and hopefully we're going to be more involved next year from the media aspect too. So we'll see what becomes of that. But they're bringing back some major guests next year. Stan Lee, William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy. I mean, it's like, whoa, it doesn't get any better than that. So it's going to be very, very interesting. And then Mad Monster Party before that is coming up at the beginning of the year in March. They just announced that they're bringing in Bruce Campbell, so that's going to be cool. We'll get to meet Bruce Campbell again. Who knows? Maybe we can score an interview or video with him somehow. We'll see what we can do, but who knows? But we, MVP will definitely be at the Mad Monster Party for the Mad Monster Party Film Festival, so it's going to be good times. I'm watching my timer here because I have to stop this portion before I run out of space and restart the video, so it's just one of those things. Oh yeah, over the next few months I don't want to shoot shit, nothing at all. I need some time off, guys. We just released 3 projects, so I'm thinking of writing an ebook, and I'm trying to figure out how to link that ebook into my documentary idea. So, but the idea is, well, wait, let me stop my tape first. Should I tell you about the idea? That would be mean to just leave you hanging like that. But I'm starting to learn that, or I'm starting to feel like the more open I am about the things I'm working on, the more that it seems to inspire other people. And I need to make sure that, you know, what the MVP brand is doing is very unique. You know, I've always prided myself as trying to be ahead of the curve a little bit, you know, which if you think about it, I'll give you an example. Okay, here we go back to ego. But this is a difference between the kind of ego I was talking about earlier, where you come dancing into the cafeteria, versus, you know, the person sitting in the corner. And this kind of versus understanding one's work and one's work in a framework of, you know, greater works, you know, potentially. I mean, that's what you're trying to do anyway. So it's not a matter of, hey, I want to be the center of attention, but no, this is the way it should be, because this is the truth. This is following the truth, the true essence of this individual work. So, you know, and no one outside of the artist can deny that or gainsay that fact. And that's something that the individuals outside of the artist have to accept, and they need to accept it, or else they will find themselves moved out of an artist's perimeter. You know, I'll definitely do that. You know, if you're not down with the program, you gotta scoot out. So, because everybody has to be on the same team, and it's just the way it goes. If you're not on the same team, you just have people that are just creating dissent. There's like no reason for it whatsoever. But at the same time, I'm just like one of the most open, inviting, and accepting, and even forgiving cats around. I mean, I will hold grudges, don't get me wrong, against people that burn me, or MVP, or us, or whatever. But I'm also cool, you know, if people talk to me, you know, man to man, person, whatever, and we can work differences out. I'm always willing to work them out, man, because I think everybody should work together, which is why the problems of ego really bother me, in terms of, you know, having to deal with everybody else and how their egos affect the world. And it goes back to, you know, the filmmaker wanting to put their name in front of their movie. And a lot of, if you understand psychology, you understand how people talk and how they react, and you can start to see the difference between the people that are leaping through the door saying, hey, look at me, versus the ones that are sitting in the corner still working on their art. Because it comes through in what they do. Like, I'll give you an example. I almost always will say our movie, or MVP's movie, what have you, to refer to, and try to credit the work of all the talented individuals that went into it, because it's always a lot of people, you know, sometimes several hundred. I swear, you know, I mean, See for Chaos was huge, and it had a lot of people involved in it. And Ghost 2 was big, but probably not several hundred for Ghost, but we were a little more streamlined by then, thank goodness. But, you know, it's never one person's film. It's never just John Carpenter's film. I mean, they're, you know, all the way down to the seamstress, to, you know, the stunt guy that played Michael Myers, which, you know, it sounds like they had a lot of different people playing that character, but it was so important, it became so iconic. And of course, all credit due to Nick Castle for being the first to set the stage for that, to create the pattern for all others to follow. Oh, well, I don't know about pattern, but paradigm, or what have you. Created the icon anyway. Yeah, so I don't know. This whole ego thing, it's a big problem on the national landscape too. Like, you know, magazines will fight against each other, conventions will fight against each other, film festivals, one film festival doesn't want to acknowledge the other, or you know, certain film festivals will deny certain media. Like, if you want to get into Sundance, you have to have shot your film on 35mm, so there's nothing else to it. So, you know, it just ignores a lot of digital work, and, you know, digital is becoming the new norm. And yeah, film is a great art form and aesthetic of its own. You know, we have to kind of accept digital as kind of the way to go, and look at how to improve that rather than film, which has kind of reached its apex. I think so. I mean, perhaps, you know, combination of film and digital would work, but from a pragmatic standpoint, doesn't make sense because you have to pay for the conversion from film to digital. So it's just a huge extra cost. Always. But the point being, we should be all inclusive, inviting to everyone, all medias, all expressions. That's why with the Mad Monster Party Film Festival this year, we decided to open up the festival to fan films. We had a lot of people ask about that rule last year, and my response was that, well, we felt that we wanted people to focus on creating original works and put those out there. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to promote. So that's what we did. And we found some great films last year. I mean, Nailbiter went on to win awards at every festival it's been in, pretty much. I mean, it swept the awards at the Fright Night Film Festival. And it won Best Horror at the Mad Monster Party Film Festival first. So there you go. But that's the crazy thing, is you have all these conventions against each other, and you have fans versus the fans. It's really sad. A lot of it's sad. But what can you do? Now, yeah, Retro Phantasma tomorrow night, Black Hole and the Dune. That's awesome double screening. I would love to see that, but again, the pocketbook's saying no, it's not going to happen. So yeah, you'll see filmmakers that always talk about my movie. This is my movie, and my movie this, and my movie that. It's the difference between my title. I mean, I came up with a title, sitting by myself, probably at this desk, or maybe I was, walking the aisles at Walmart or what have you, and the title popped in my head. And that is my title, as opposed to a movie, which takes, hundreds of people to put it all together, but they'll say my movie, my movie, my movie. And again, it's all ego. You almost always hear me say our movie. It's our movie, because it took a lot of people to make it. And then, yeah, actors. I hate to pick on you actors, because I love actors. I love working with actors. I had a lot of actor friends, at School of the Arts. But there are two breeds of actors. There's probably a lot more, but there's one breed that's really talented and creative and just kind of inspirational. I mean, they can just do things that amaze you, and they pursue their art. And then number two, there are people that kind of just want that spotlight, and they may not necessarily have that talent. And that number two category is the one that bothers me, because there are too many people, especially filmmakers, directors, that want to have like cameos in their movie. I mean, they try to focus on it. Or people that are really talented at a different phase of filmmaking, like set design, or maybe photography or something, but they insist on wanting to get into acting, and they can't act. It's like, okay, you want the spotlight, or you're just crazy, or both. I mean, that's ego. That is ego. There's a difference between that kind of ego. Well, you will almost never see me in front of the camera. There is some rare MVP footage of me on camera, and it is an Easter egg hidden on Tales from Mutantville. If you actually want to see Streebo on camera, it's an Easter egg. You have to find it. But you rarely see me on camera. I have no interest in it. I would much rather be behind the camera helping tell the story. And you got these people that are directors, that want to put themselves in movies all the time. I don't understand that. And even directors that are very talented and very good at what they do, and they still kind of have that, I don't know what it is, desire to put themselves in the spotlight, even for a brief cameo. I just see it as an ego blind spot, and it makes me just realize how much truer my course is. So it all returns to Streebo's ego. That's what it's all about. But I don't know, man. It's cool. It's good times. I suppose I could show you guys. I haven't bought a lot of stuff over the past few months. I can only think of a couple things. Mostly, whenever I get a chance to read, I've been trying to make my way through this, How Fiction Works. Great book on writing and just how words are put together to make something compelling and exciting. It's very, very cool. And the two Blu-rays I've picked up over the past couple months. This one I actually just got this week, the Avengers Blu-ray. This is the two-disc version. It's got the Blu-ray and the DVD. But I'm really bummed out that it's not in a Blu-ray case. I've grown to like the Blu-ray cases. I don't know. It's just, you know, transformation from VHS to DVD was cool, and now from DVD to Blu-ray. You know, I'm just I'm a media junkie, I guess. I was gonna try to grab a VHS somewhere nearby, but they're actually across the room, I guess. No, I see one behind me. You think I can reach one? There we go. VHS. So the transformation from here in those old days in the old mom and pop's video stores from Nightmare on Elm Street. I remember seeing the stand-up of this in the theater. It was bigger than I was, taller than I was. And the other Blu-ray that I got picked up last month. I picked it up the day after it came out, I guess. Yeah, Prometheus. Can't stop watching it. It's freaking brilliant. This is the huge pack. I couldn't afford the one for the Avengers. I had to go with the cheap Blu-ray on that one. But this one has the Blu-ray in 3D, the regular Blu-ray, the DVD, and the digital copy. I don't like this cover as much, though. I love this scene in the movie, especially in IMAX. If you did not get to experience this moment in IMAX, you never really saw Prometheus. I mean, I'll just put that out there for you. It was amazing. Still my favorite movie of the year. Though I will say I did see Cloud Atlas, and Cloud Atlas really kicks ass. That's an amazing movie. I've got to go see The Man with the Iron Fist, though. It's just a money thing, you know. Like I've been saying all along, there's cool stuff happening everywhere. I want to go see it, but haven't yet. I'm waiting for all the horror films from October to hit the dollar theater. So Paranormal Activity 4, Sinister, The Possession, which I think is actually in the dollar theater now. But I want to catch like 2 or 3 of them all in one day. That's great to do on a Sunday. Just go and poof, knock a bunch of them out. So I've actually done that in the past. If you watch my reviews for the Midnight Meat Train and Quarantine, yeah, same day. Shot those at the same time. Just went and watched each movie back to back, recorded reviews, and bada bing, bada boom, we were done. Anyway, I think that's about enough for this Streeborama vlog, post-Halloween, pre-Thanksgiving. Which, by the way, work has been kicking my ass. Keeping me really busy. So, it sucks when real life work picks up and is dragging you down. I mean, I worked 62 hours, I think, middle of October when I was doing all those promotions. And it was crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But, you know, that's why I was saying this is a lifestyle you have to live. It's not, you know, everyone want to say, I am a filmmaker, I am an artist. It's a matter of you got to constantly be living, constantly doing, constantly thinking, constantly taking action, and just in a constant state of creativity. So that's what it's all about, baby. It's not about ego. It's about destroying the ego. Destroying the ego. Finding the truth beneath. So that's my message to all of you out there. Destroy your ego. Enjoy that convention you're going to. Enjoy that film festival you're going to. Get that photo op if you want it. Don't feel guilty. Get that signature. It's okay. Take it home. Put it on the walls. You can see mine are all around me. That's my most prized right there. You know, nobody else has the right to tell you not to. Do what you want to do. Let's all just be friends. Let's all be fans. Let's watch some good movies. Talk about good movies. Talk about the positives. Let's not focus so much on the negatives anymore. We've had enough of that. Time to move on. Rebuild the horror genre. So, anyway. This is Streebo coming to you from Mutantville.com. Visit me there. Sign up for the MVP newsletter. Comment, rate, subscribe on this. If you're on iTunes, if you want a podcast to listen to, check us out at MVP Mutant Radio. We are on iTunes. You can download the show, stream it direct, whatever you want to do. All of the above. Anyway, thanks for listening to me. Here's to you. Happy Halloween, happy Thanksgiving, happy Hanukkah, happy Christmas, happy New Year. I'm sure I'll talk to you again before then, but in case I don't, here's to you.
You're watching Mutant TV.